All right, hello my friends, and welcome to another edition of Lady Arcader's Attract Mode. Welcome back if you have been here before, and if you are brand new, welcome in, welcome in. We are super excited to have you tonight. We have some amazing games to show off for you, run by some absolutely amazing people. My name is Jaypeg. I will be your host for this evening, just hanging out with you and chatting and adding my own little flavor, even though you just have phenomenal runners and commentators the whole time. You are seriously in for a treat. If you are wondering what on earth Attract Mode is, this is where Lady Arcaders run small events throughout the year. Tune in every Thursday night at 9 p.m., like tonight, and Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. Eastern to catch awesome ladies showing off awesome games. And if you have something that you would like to show us or like to have shown on this channel, we are actually looking for submissions for December. So if you would like to hear more about that, you can either join our Discord by typing !Discord in chat, or you can go to ladyarcaders.com to learn more. We would love to see anything. It seriously does not have to be just video games. Like, I think that with the time of year, this is like a really good food time of year for a lot of people. So if you have like a baking stream or something that you want to do, we want to see that too. Or like handmade gifts, whatever you want to bring, we love to see it and would have a really good time with it. Even if you want to sit there and do like a stack ranking of like holiday Starbucks drinks or something like that. I'm just giving ideas here. I think it would all be fun. But without further ado, I want to make sure that we make way for our first game of the night, which is going to be RUINER. Now, this is a intense, high-stakes, dramatic run by Astrid the Horror Girl, and we have our own absolutely wonderful BigScared on commentary for this. So Astrid and Big, when you are ready, take it away.
Hello there. I am Astrid the Horror Girl, and I am playing RUINER, and I'm joined by the amazing BigScared.
Hello, hello. I am BigScared, and hopefully by the end of this, I won't be so scared anymore because we will have a phenomenal run under our belt.
I actually came here to pose a bit of a question to the Lady Arcaders, because throughout Lady Arcaders, you know, and video games in general, we've had plenty of amazing women as protagonists, such as, Lara Croft, Samus Aran, and, you have your wonderful, the princesses in, like, the Mario games and all that, but how about a really good villain?
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her is literally the last thing I always say whenever I beat this game.
Yeah, okay, we're in the right place.
Yes. So, this is RUINER. It is a twin-stick shooter, and it is pretty challenging. We are playing this on the hardest difficulty for this speedrun, and it is going to be a good, fun time. And we're going to get started here on this mission, which is Creep's Nest. And the timer is going to start once I hit any key to continue, which will be in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So I'm going to do the first skip in the game, and then the level after is going to be my first kind of like break, because I can skip basically the whole first level, and so I'm going to do that. And after that, then I actually have to play the game. So once that happens, we'll give you a little background on the game, what it's about, what's going on, why we're here, what's happening. But yeah, this skip is gonna immediately start going by me launching into the air from that gate by putting in the wrong code while I am in the sky. And didn't quite make it to the elevator, so I've got to wait for these bombs to go off. But then I can go over and get in the elevator, and that was the first level of the game.
And so we can see Astrid using some very complicated tech to essentially yeet herself several layers of verticality off of the platform she's supposed to be on. into a plane of existence where she is still touchable, but much more able to traverse freely. There's a couple ways to do this. You can either use bodies to elevate you slightly off of the terrain, or you can summon a supply drop and let it push you into the vertical space, which she'll be demonstrating that throughout the run. So if you missed it the first time, don't worry, you'll get plenty of chances to see it.
This is true. This is the only level of the game that I play legitimately. As of yet, haven't found a skip for this level, so I kind of have to just play it and just try to do it quickly, which is a good opportunity for BigScared to explain what's been going on in the story, what's happening, what's going on here, because this guy here is called Wizard. This dude looking all cool.
This is Wizard. So Astrid mentioned that this story takes place in a dystopian cyberpunk city. It is specifically called Rancok. It is run by a wide variety of gangs, and the mysterious leader of the corporate gang that controls the whole city is simply named Boss. Now, in the tutorial that we didn't play through because we're doing Noob Game Plus here, and Astrid was exemplary at skipping all of that prologue, we learned that we were activated and then mind-controlled by someone named Wizard, who we just fought, who just happens to be one of many gang leaders trying to get a little bit more power and work their way up the ranks. Specifically, Wizard wants us to go kill Boss, but before we're able to do that, we got hijacked by a woman going simply by the name Her. And Her tells us where Wizard is, so that way we can go get her very violent revenge.
Indeed. Violent revenge is what we are here for. It is the stakes. It is what we're basically going for. Her has freed us and has told us, hey, I can help you get revenge on Wizard for hacking your brain and taking over you and doing all this. So that's basically what we are on the way to, guided by Her's loving and definitely not sketchy in any way hand. She's just really kind, you know?
Yeah, and it's not ominous or foreboding at all that the game starts with revenge, because that would just imply that there would be more revenge later on, right?
Almost like it's a cycle, usually.
Yeah.
That never ends, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
Not
Also,
at
I
all.
love that this is this intense, okay, so we're on the hardest difficulty. This is a super intense and violent game, and then you got a pink birthday cake on your head.
Yeah, it's a skin that comes with the for the 2-year anniversary of the game, they put a candle with 2 candlesticks on the head, and I was like, oh, I'm absolutely using that skin, absolutely.
Perfect.
It's beautiful.
I have a shotgun that I'm using basically to be at a corner and just get rid of people as they appear as best as I can. And then I lost the ammo for it, so I just have my pistol, which is named basically the game's namesake, which is the Ruiner pistol.
Oh, they said the thing!
Yes! Once we get rid of these friends. Now, by the way, for these stage cleared, they pop on the screen real quick. If I stick around, it gives me a rating on how well I did. And occasionally, Her will give me a rating and will say something like, good job, puppy, or great work, puppy.
Oh.
We neglected to mention that our character is simply called Puppy.
Yes.
And so the flavor of praise that is given as a reward for completing your tasks efficiently definitely has a flavor to it.
There's vibes here.
Yes. Yes, there are.
I also want to point out that Astrid is hacking enemies. And as she does that, they also receive a really cute head accessory.
Yeah. They absolutely do. Little panda bear head to indicate that they're on my team now.
Wonderful.
They are a bit scary. I try to keep my distance from them because this being New Game Plus, I have everything loaded up and I have an ability to make their damage twice as deadly. It is to me too, and they just are like, enemy is that direction, and they shoot, and sometimes I am also that direction, and I also take double the damage.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I try not to die by their hand, their friendly hand.
It's also worth noting that the hacking is not a permanent state, and so
Yeah.
it will eventually wear off, and they will eventually become hostile again. So, like, betrayal is inevitable at some point. You gotta really be careful with these folks.
This is the first boss battle of the game, and this is what's called a headhunter boss, and this is the only one we will see because I'm skipping the rest of the headhunter bosses. And he's dead.
I'm sure they're not important. It's fine.
Nah, not at all. And there goes Donvius, who shows up, and sometimes one of the things he says when he shows up is just loser, which is one of my favorite things. All right, so now we are going to Nerve, who is one of the 3 main bosses of the game. And he has a very interesting strategy to him. Basically, this strategy is only possible in the hardest difficulty because they put additional enemies for you to fight while you're fighting the boss. And that's supposed to make it harder, but because I have the hacking ability, I can just use them to fight Nerve.
Yeah, so this becomes a really important part where managing the ads is not only like a safety protocol, it's an offensive strategy as well, because they might not do the most damage to Nerve because, as you can see, is extremely tanky. The New Game Plus mode makes the fights much more robust, much longer, much more tedious, and much more dangerous. But they will absolutely distract him long enough for Astrid to do damage of her own.
Yes.
And even if they are just distractions, it's important to point out that Nerve will do so much damage that he can kill them near instantly on hit, which is not necessarily the case for our player characters. So that should give you some sort of indication of what the damage scaling is here.
Yeah. They're quite mean to me. But also, these guys are on my side now. They killed Nerve for me. Pretty sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
awfully nice of them.
I love the power of friendship.
Indeed. This is supposed to be where Nerve gives you his sword, and he tells you, I was defending that wizard guy, but you're such a good fighter, you can just have him. He's over there. And so it's just basically opened the door for me after that, after giving me a sweet sword. And this fight, actually this isn't going to be a fight at all, but if I start the level and I hit the right button, this is supposed to be a forced walk section, but if you start the level and right when you do, you press the run button, you can just run and you don't have to force walk this. So I'm going faster than I should be here. And here's Wizard, and we're gonna her is like, hey, let me download his brain so that I can see what's up. Lots of flashing lights here.
Normal. This is normal.
Yep.
We are definitely completely on the good side.
Yep. Well, I mean, look at her.
It's not like her headphones say bad on the top.
I trust her implicitly.
Yes.
But
Oh,
essentially what just happened.
Hold on real quick. These dudes, they're like, hey, loser, you think this is over? And then they give me a signed picture of me with all of them. And it's so great.
What?
Yeah.
What? Amazing.
Brilliant.
Okay,
You think
now
this is
I'm good.
over? No, we love you.
Yes.
Good night. Okay.
Hey, loser. We just became best friends. I'll see you later.
Literally.
But
what
yeah,
happened.
essentially what just happened was her goes, hey, that man's brain looks really juicy. Let me download it. And in the various flashing segments that we skip through rapidly, she learns that there is a lot more going on with the situation, that there's another crime boss who is appropriately named King, that will be the person ultimately, quote unquote, responsible for transporting the brainwashed bodies for people who want to buy them to use as super soldiers. Currently, he has our brother, and so we have to go save our brother because why wouldn't we? We just learned that we had him, and we have to go save our family, right? They're in the same situation that we are.
Yep.
Everything's gonna be fine, right?
That is what's going
Yes.
on.
This is like cyberpunk and dystopian, so obviously everybody is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, I'm trying to let my friends fight, and I'm trying to stay out of their way because I don't want my friends to accidentally do an oopsie and hurt me. And because they don't want to do that, but you know, things happen. Her's just telling me those are enemies that you fought, and I'm like, yep. Yes, that was one of hers things. Don't know if you heard, but she goes, "Find him, puppy."
You know what? Again, good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a couple variations of statements in text that will flash across the screen. There's the good puppy, there's the find them puppy, or variations of find them, get them puppy. But then there's also more ominous statements like kill them and hello darkness, which is my personal favorite. And so, honestly, I stand the goth queen her. No notes,
True.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, her is great. Like, I played this whole game so many times, and each time just like, good for her. Yeah. That friend didn't know that he was on my team, but he's on my team.
He
It's
is
fine.
now.
Yeah. There's 2 drop ships coming. I want my friends. Oh, they're over there. Come over, help me out. Thank you. We recruited a new friend. You kind of go through the cycle of recruiting friends and losing friends. That you go through friends very quickly in this game.
That's fine. Just like Chat said a minute ago, was the power of temporary friendship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We just gotta realize some people aren't meant to be in your life forever, and that's okay.
Like all these friends I'm about to have. Look at that.
Yeah.
Incredible. They knew that that person wasn't a true friend. All right, this is this is basically the last fight I have to do on this level. I have to fight these friends, but then I can actually do the first, or actually, I guess, since I skipped the whole first level, one of the first skips here. These dudes are coated in like an orange lighting, which indicates to me that they do not want to be my friends under any circumstances, which is very sad.
Ah, yes, orange bloom, the sign of no friends, please.
Yes.
Listen, much like the nervous service dog, I appreciate them wearing a clear indicator on their
Ooh.
vest of not to interact with them.
True.
Right? Boundaries are important, and I respect them.
It's true. All right, so now we're gonna do the supply bump here, which is gonna... There's a little thing that happens when we drop a supply box. They'll bump us up as they go to close, and then we can use that to get some height. I'm gonna change my abilities here.
What are floors? It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna skip the rest of the level and just go over the exit.
effortlessly across that abyss.
Yes.
Beautifully done. That is not an easy skip to do. That particular boost that Astrid did off of her cargo drop is very tricky, and if you don't continuously yeet yourself forward, you will just unceremoniously fall into the nothing. It is terrifying.
This
And yet,
right here.
very well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This right here is Hansa Assembly. Anytime I run this game, this is the level that I dread because it's the hardest skip in the game. No questions, like no doubts. It is scary. It is frustrating. And so I'm gonna concentrate a bit. BigScared, I will leave the comms to you for a bit because I must focus on this
Please
very
focus
mean thing.
And stop me if you need me to shut up. Hansa Assembly is a really interesting level because there is some traversal that needs to be done that is extremely precise. As you notice, Astrid had to kill all those enemies first because they get in the way otherwise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they get in the way. They can kill you while you're up here. It is very unpleasant. She uses the supply bump to get height, and then she's gonna strategically maneuver herself using all of these vats to get even more height. But she has to do it with very precise timing because, as we mentioned earlier, this is New Game Plus, which means it's hard mode. And so she takes much more damage than she would normally. And so if she were to simply yeet through all of these blasters like we would on like a new game or a more casual playthrough, it would obliterate her. They do so much damage that it is not worth it to go as fast as possible here. Similarly, we're going to do even more supply drops to get even more verticality because you thought you were up in the rafters already. I'm sorry, you're not high enough. We have to get onto the highest plane of existence for this level in order to traverse an even larger void. And I'm going to let her focus here so that way she can nail it.
Yeah, this supply bump is being a little bit rude to me.
This one is very tricky, yeah.
Because you don't want to fall down, because then if you fall down, you have to start everything on up again. So I'm trying to not fall down, but it's like right at the precipice, trying to get it. But yeah, that's why this one more than any other skip in the whole game is like, if I get this one, like, you know, the worst is behind me. There we go.
There we go.
And it's still not over because there's more stressful things.
Yeah, no, there's more to it. We haven't even approached the void that we will need to mash through. But real quick, I want to talk about why the supply bump is such an important and complicated strategy. Not only does it yeet you upwards on the closing animation, it is frame precise. Astrid had to take screenshots and like extremely careful documentation on the exact angle to approach the box and the exact angle at which she had to like cram herself between the box and the other architecture here. Now, you're noticing she's doing some even more careful platforming. She's currently on the rails of the walkway, bouncing between some cylinders and other similar objects, some boxes, some scaffolding, in order to circumvent all of the explosives and enemies in the area. Additionally, there are invisible walls that are very easy to get. I had to mention it, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, you're good.
As we've demonstrated, the invisible walls, you have to know where they are and know how to get around them without losing any of that verticality. And so that's why this section is such a clinch point in the run.
Invisible walls, rude.
Yeah.
And the explosives do have to be exploded, because if they aren't, their hitboxes will take up more spaces than they appear. And it'll just get in your way regardless.
Alright, time to do this horrible thing again. The thing is that ideally, you get it on the first try. This skip takes about, if you do it on the first try, it takes about 10 minutes to 2 minutes to perform, but it saves like 8 minutes. So it's worth going for it. I hate it. It's so mean, and it really, like, there's no room for error in it, which is, the other ones are a lot more forgiving than this one. This one's just a pain. Supply drop gonna be rude today.
Can I just
Chat.
say, I love the, like, music or just ambient sound here. I love a good, like, droning theme like this.
Honestly, Ruiner has one of my favorite soundtracks in a video game ever, because I'm a big fan of Witch House and Industrial and like dark synth, which this has a lot of. So I'm a big fan of this game's soundtrack. And
yeah, it's already phenomenal.
the soundtrack was also, almost every track was composed by one woman.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Okay. Let's try this jerk again. Oh, cool, he killed himself. I love that.
Happy for him.
Yeah.
Here comes my favorite part of this absurdity. The teleporting onto the rising containers to achieve even more verticality, because we need more.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the skip. And
Wow.
now we have to do this fight. You can technically go over this fight, but the only way the level ends is if you get the door to open, and the door is triggered on the final enemy dying. So, it is unfortunate this fight actually has to happen, which is like a direct contradiction with like every other level in this game. And this is basically a game of make friends, let them fight. This one's really hard because these friends are very fast and they go all over the place, so suddenly you can just find yourself teleported between two of them, and they'll just be like, we're gonna swing our swords and shoot at each other. These dudes are doing weird things there. Okay.
Now, you might be asking yourself, why is Astrid playing on hard mode?
Yeah.
The realistic answer here is the practical one. It's because New Game Plus automatically defaults to a harder difficulty, and so if you want to go into the game with all of the abilities unlocked, with the ability to skip interacting with the skill tree, which is a huge time sink, you're gonna want to go in on a New Game Plus run. It also, because more abilities are unlocked much earlier than they would be otherwise, makes some of these skips much more viable, much more achievable, and, like, simply doable. That being said, that does not make them easy.
Yeah.
It simply
They're
makes
just
them...
available.
Yeah, it makes them less hard and it makes them possible, right?
Yeah, some skips are not possible on New Game that I do. And some skips are possible, they're just way harder on New Game.
Yeah. And additionally, while it does save time in things like menuing and upgrading and acquiring skills and talking to people, it does extend the length of boss battles. So there's a certain degree of trade-off to be had here too.
Yes. Alright, so that is the... Now we're going to get into some really fun full level skips, but the worst is behind us. That level I just did is always the one where it's like, everything could come down here. Everything could just get ruined.
Well, all I gotta say about that is yeehaw, Astrid, you did it.
I did.
You done it.
Okay, but now, Hansa Cargo. This one is also one that I'll mostly let BigScared do some talking, because while this one is a lot easier than Hansa Assembly, and I love doing it, it's still lots of pay attention.
It is a
stuff.
focus area,
Yeah.
So the skips in this level are going to function in a very similar way. We're going to be using the karma boxes to clip up into the upper geometry of the level. We're going to use the ascending mechanics of the level. We're going to use rail walking. All of these tools are in our arsenal here, but Astrid is following an incredibly specific path to avoid the invisible walls that are in the way. You might look at this arena and say, wow, that is a beautiful linear path. Why can't we simply run forward? You can't. The devs said, aha, and they put invisible walls in the way. And throughout here, Astrid might have to make some pit stops to recharge herself. She does this because there is certain energy, like, buttons on the floor which will refill the stamina and energy bar, and that will allow her to do more of these teleportation dash maneuvers, which we're gonna see here. Very well done.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Now, as you can see, the ascending containers are the key here. She activated the overload to literally fly above the rest of the level.
Yeah.
Now, there are some more invisible walls between her and the end of the level. It's not as bad as the section before this, but unlike the previous section of the game, this will enable her to skip the fight at the end, including the mini-boss. So this level is very rewarding if you master the tricks to it. It is not easy, but it is much more straightforward in its approach.
This level also has the added bonus of, hey, if you're attempting the skip and then mess up at any time, the game crashes.
Yeah. That's just the fun of being here in Bangkok City, you know?
Indeed.
The stability of the arena. Now, while Astrid does these maneuvers, let me tell you about some other fun things to do while you're here in Bangkok City. You might be wondering what the side mission situation looks like. Let me guarantee you, gamers, there are a myriad of colorful folks that you can interact with to pick up side quests. We will be talking to none of them on this run. But they exist, they are really cool, and they add a lot of flavor and depth into the universe and what it's like to live in this city. One of them in particular is a lady that points out that there's a lot of programmed cats around, and if you find the cats and you hack them, they will talk down to you because they know they're superior to you, and I just think that's neat.
Yeah.
They're right.
They're right.
Because they're cats.
Yeah, if you find them and pet them, which is how you hack into them, they go, like, insolent child, you know who I am. It's great.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Additionally, there is a specific destination that will only let you enter it if you have died more than 50 times on your playthrough by the time you arrive at that destination. You cannot go back to it.
Yeah.
It is called the Club of Pain and Misery.
Yeah.
And I would like everyone who is watching this, whether it's live or in a VOD later on, to know Astrid still does not know what this place looks like on the inside because she's too good at the game to get in.
One day I'm just gonna let
fine.
myself get killed a whole bunch of times to go in there.
I heard a rumor once that there was a run where she died 50 times, but she did it at a point where it was so late that she couldn't go back and get in.
That is true.
Oh my god.
This is another full level skip. We're just gonna
Beautiful
go straight.
overload.
Bye.
Yep, yep. All right. And that's skipping bosses and combat and everything as well. Like, these missions
Literally.
are averagely taking, like, normally, like, 6 to 10 minutes, anywhere in there, depending on how well you're fighting. And we're doing them in, like, a minute or 2 minutes.
Literally looked at the level, said, I'm gonna hit the bricks. And she did.
I'm gonna head out.
A minute, 20 seconds for that level. Flawlessly executed.
Thank you. All right, time to get King.
Oh yeah, we're here to fight King because he definitely has our brother.
Yes.
Is King short or tall? Is he a short king?
He's a floating chair king?
He radiates Eggman energy.
It's true.
And so he is obviously a tall king.
Eggman is tall. I forget that a lot, and then every time I'm reminded, I'm utterly traumatized by that information.
Now, King here has a couple phases to the fight. Phase 1 here, we simply run away because he's trying to blow us up, and all of the containers are explosive, so if we hang out too long, that will be very bad. Phase 2 is a little bit more complex. There will be some towers that we need to damage at specific points, at which point they will knock him out of the air and provide opportunities to provide damage, much like a fight against the Eggman.
It's true. There's King in the big floaty chair.
Yep, that's an Eggman vehicle.
All right, let's hope that we can one cycle, boss. I'll try.
Once again, really precise positioning here. You have to time his fall and weapon placement on the swing attack just right. 2 cycles is still really good, but the 1 cycle is ideal here.
Not. Darn it. All right, got it in 2.
Very well done.
All right, so this is her saying, I want to hack his brain too. And he said, no, listen, but, you know, what are we going to do? Not listen to her?
No.
I like her plan.
Yeah. Especially since he didn't want to tell us where our brother that we definitely have is at, you know?
Yeah. Unlike Wizard, King is much more resistant to being downloaded. He has a lot more to say about the process. It's a little bit more nebulous in terms of how bad that man was.
Yes.
But now we have some information that will tell us exactly where our brother is. We have to go further into the reaches of a place known as the Heaven's Core. And that is a place that is protected by a collective? Assemblage.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. A collective works.
Yeah, known as the Six Sisters. I love them.
I love them too.
I respect them. And I fear them. But we do have to take King along with us for a while, so he's going to be a presence with us even though we have defeated him.
Ah.
Yes, and King doesn't want to behave, so we actually have a torture button for King, so that King listens to us.
Yeah. To quote Resident Evil 4, writhe in my cage of torment.
Alright. Just using the supply bump up there to get me up on these boxes. And then, because the elevator gate doesn't want us to go forwards, but we're gonna go forward anyways, because we don't care. And we're gonna skip this whole level too, in spectacular fashion.
I mean,
Now-
everything you've done has been spectacular, so...
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a blind fly. What Astrid is doing is using the geometry of the elevator to clip literally to the other side of the everything, as you can see here. And if at any point she loses her trajectory or her momentum,
just like that.
she will unceremoniously drop through just like that.
Unfortunate.
She's looking for specific environmental points to determine where to start descending and where to actually land. This section is a little misleading because the isometric nature of the game visually implies ground where there sometimes isn't. And so there's a lot of trial and error here on what's safe to fall on and what's not safe to fall on. And this takes an extreme amount of skill. So please enjoy. And also, yeehaw if you are enjoying it.
All right. Let's try that again. That was a bit rude of the game to do that to me.
I'm yeehawing. You said yeehaw. I'm yeehawing.
Listen, I yeehaw for this all the time. It's beautiful. We're leaving fireworks across the sky.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind wanting to start again?
Truly.
There we go.
'Cause baby,
Okay.
you're a firework.
That was very well done. I love the drop directly into the exit gate.
Yes. This level is the same thing. So we're gonna basically do the exact same thing on this level because I love elevators and I love not using them. King, you're in the way. I need to see what I'm doing.
And so while Astrid executes these tricks again, I want to talk a little bit about a specific NPC that we will casually be interacting with. Maybe you've seen them pop up a couple times. Maybe it happened so quickly you didn't notice. Their name is Mechanics. They are an ally, but it is not necessarily by their choice. They are a very begrudging helper for us. And it is very thoroughly implied that her is blackmailing him into helping you. So just keep this in your back pocket, that maybe
Okay.
friends are simply shaped like friend and they're not actually our friend.
Yes. That
I
was
asked that a lot,
smoother.
like-
Oh, I loved that one.
Very well done.
And also King dies in that level. Rip.
Yeah, unceremoniously, we love and miss the king already.
Also, King is supposed to come back with a vengeance on this level to try to defeat us, but we're going to skip that too. So...
It's fine.
I want to point out that this level is called the Walkways of Terror, which I think is just a chef kiss of a level name.
It is.
Especially for the alleged twist of like, oh no, you thought I was dead, but I'm back to beat you up.
It's true.
But of course, we're going to use the supply bump and just yeet into the collision. We're going to float above the ground and
Yep.
put a second box down. But in order to not get crushed in the process, you got to dash away and then dash back very quickly in order to secure an out of bounds. There we go.
Right.
And again, we dash on a very specific trajectory here. Astrid has mapped this out very meticulously, and it will take her all the way to the end of the level. Everyone say bye-bye, King.
Bye, King.
There we go.
Now, you might be wondering when we're going to meet the Six Sisters. I promise it's soon.
Yeah.
First, we have to enter an area known as the Mother's Womb.
There's one enemy. We haven't been fighting recently, but we actually have to fight this guy. Look how tough that guy is.
I like his claws.
Armored Wolverine, yeah. Ooh, I do not have a lot of energy. This could be a tough fight. Just gotta try to not be greedy here.
Now, as you can see, Astrid is using a very careful strategy of stunning this android with a shield charge and then damaging him with heavy strikes while he's stunned. You absolutely need energy for this fight, and it is easy to run out early. That being said, we will see this guy a couple more times, so don't forget him. He's very important.
True. I actually need a heal here because he did quite a bit of damage to me. And I need health as a resource for the next part. Supply bumping again. And this one, again, we're gonna float above the ground. We're gonna wait for our other supply bump to come back and try to time this correctly. Good. And we'll try to get it. Yes, good. So this
Very well
one
done.
is where we change the controls. And we're bounding our dash to the dash now to the scroll wheel, because this out of bounds is just a long time and I have to be constantly dashing. So it's just easier on my hand to use the scroll wheel as opposed to the other ones. It comes at a cost of some accuracy, but I'm pretty confident that I've got this. Unless I
Yeah.
fall, unfortunately. I just lost at the last second there.
That's why the mouse wheel is so important. The momentum here is pivotal, because if you lose it, if you're not mashing that fast enough, it will drop you.
Yeah, I just turned a little bit hard there. Setting things back, because for now I need the specificity of like an actual click here. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible.
Now, if you're wondering why Astrid needs to do multiple supply drop boosts here, it's because the level geometry that is the invisible barrier preventing you from doing the out of bounds here is just barely taller than the box she's standing on. And so it's essential to do this, but it feels mean.
Yeah.
That you can't just walk off the edge there.
There we go. Alright, that's the level.
Nice. Now the coolest vehicle. I love this thing.
Yes.
I immediately love it.
There's actually quite a few in the game, but I skipped them all. That's the only one we actually use in the run. Because it is faster to run past them than to use the bike that goes at light speed. Alright, the heart. This is where we meet BigScared's favorite characters.
I love them. They're so cool.
They are. I want to be the Six Sisters when I grow up.
Now, I want to point out that unlike the other bosses, the Six Sisters here are a special breed because they have a checkpoint mid-fight.
Yeah, they're the only boss that has a checkpoint in the middle of their fight. Which is...
Always threatening.
Yes. Alright, so here's where the Six Sisters are going to introduce themselves. And there's our brother. We found our brother.
Yay!
Oh!
Then
Aren't they sick?
They're pretty great.
They are, in fact, sick.
They also have the coolest music.
Yeah, this is already slapping. Oh, here we go. Oh.
And so the goal of this fight is pretty similar to the other boss fights. You use the ads against them. You hack as many as you can so that way they're fighting each other and you don't have to worry about them. And then you focus on the boss. If your friends are relieved of duty early, simply make more friends.
It's
Don't
true.
worry, there will be enough. And at some point, Astrid will inevitably be forced to go get health and energy, which is a risky business situation.
All right, that's checkpoint.
Beautiful.
Oh, oops. Good thing we got that checkpoint.
Best song in the game.
Yeah, I love this song.
This is a straight banger.
Oh, and every time you die, her says something to you. That one was your brother needs you. But also I did have to experience that was painful to watch at one point.
Those sound a lot nicer than I was expecting them to be.
Listen, I trust her implicitly.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost good. Boss fight. Cool. Very cool.
Nice.
Okay.
Bueno.
All right, that is the 6 sisters done, and now we can save our brother, and I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yeah, about that.
Brother, hi. You're safe. You're with me now. You want to explain what has happened here, BigScared?
About that. Turns out we were trying to help our brother, right? Just not in the way we thought, because our brother is the boss. The one that's running the whole city, the one in charge of the corporal gang that makes everything bad. He's that guy. And he hired her to hack us because he wanted us to kill off all of his competition. Because he wanted more power. Mm-hmm. Isn't he a great brother?
Oh, so nice.
But actually, that's what he thought was happening. Because meanwhile, on our journey with her, she has been working to take power for herself. And so we will have the opportunity to enact sweet revenge or download our brother.
Indeed.
Very exciting times we live in. And honestly, I'm rooting for her.
Those are very cyberpunk choices.
Yes. They are, in fact. But yeah, she tells us that, actually, I never worked for the boss, but he trusted me with all of his information. So I used that to download those brains. Now I'm in control of everything they have, all the information that they ever had. And now there's just one in my way, which is your brother. Good luck, puppy.
Now, you might notice a timer at the top of the screen here. If that timer runs out, we will die. But that won't happen because every time we kill somebody, it goes back up. Essentially, the speedrun is over when the second android gets kicked over or when the stage complete shows up, whichever happens first. So time is actually coming up very soon.
Yeah. Not quite yet, but we have to wait for our android friends to show up. We're gonna get our first android pretty soon, and then it won't be another one for a while. But basically, when the second one appears on the screen, that'll be time is approaching. And that's the first android done. Cyborg,
Sleeping.
but yeah.
Just the brutality of kicking him while he's down. I love it.
Yeah. I just have my friend scope up just in case. Just in case anyone wants to be friends with me.
Listen, it's really important to keep a healthy, robust social network, even in the middle of like cyberpunk dystopian
Yes.
brain betrayal. Like,
Yes.
it's really important.
It's true.
I also just want to give a special shout out to the motivating killer combo in the style of the Halo announcer. Those every time she just like kill 3, killer combo, it makes me so happy.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, as wildly difficult as this game looks, it also seems like when you're playing, it feels rewarding.
Oh, yes.
Like, it just feels good.
It does. It's extremely fun. All right, here's second cyborg. I'm gonna let my friends fight him a little bit. Oh, they're doing really good against him.
Yeah.
You go, friends. Wow. Wow. I ain't never seen them do that good. Time.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And yeah, I'll go to the main menu so that it doesn't bring up the song that goes for the credits. That always copyrights things. There you go.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Also,
honestly,
wow, GG.
Thank you.
Good for her and good for
Yes.
you, Astrid.
Because I always choose download the brain so that basically her gets to rule the city. Because yeah, good for her.
Good for her.
Good for
That's going to
her.
be... We're going to need like a post-run meme tweet with good for her, and it's just her's face.
Yes. I love this idea. I
dumb.
love it so much.
That was so fun. I've never seen this game before, and what a cool game. Like, wow.
It's
Seriously.
awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I hope that everyone here enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. On that note, though, Astrid, where can everybody find you?
Well, I am AstridTheHorrorGirl. I am on Twitch, also by AstridTheHorrorGirl. And I play horror games mostly, and I mostly speedrun horror games, but also this game is near and dear to my heart. And one of my partners, my girlfriend Puzzle, showed this game to me, and I fell in love with it almost as much as I fell in love with her. So I appreciate her very much for showing me this masterpiece.
That was too wonderful and wholesome.
Y'all cute.
I don't know how to handle myself after that. Big, do you wanna hype who you are while I sit here and cry a little bit, like happy tears?
Yeah, that was cute. But I'm BigScared, which is not big cute. You can find me on Twitch as BigScared. And in most places as BigScared. And if you can't find me in that place as BigScared, I'm BigScared with no punctuation or spaces. I do want to point out that if you like this game, it is available on all platforms. And fun fact, I got this game on the Switch store for less than $5 recently.
Ooh.
So it is a very affordable pickup if you like it.
And
Awesome.
BigScared is big cute also, coincidentally.
Wow.
Oh, hot takes live on stream. You heard it here, folks. Astrid just dropping the hot knowledge.
It's true. It's true.
And you, everyone else, including you,
Yes.
dear listener.
Yeah, you. We mean you specifically. Yeah, you listening right now. You. You're cute. Right. On that extremely wholesome note, for what was definitely an extremely wholesome, warm, cuddly game, we're going to go ahead and prep for our next game. So, my friends, thank you so much for being here. This is an absolute blast, and great job again, Astrid. Just
Thank you.
super fun run.
Thank you for having
All right.
me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing this off. And thank you both for being awesome. We'll be right back in just a minute with our next game, which is going to be, just totally exactly like this. You can totally trust me. Okay, so was that not just the best pairing of two games that y'all have seen in your lives? Like, I I am over the moon with how both of those went. We had some absolutely brilliant, high stakes, just incredible gaming from Astrid the Horror Girl, and then straight into the cutest, sweetest, most lore-filled question mark sticker management game. This has just been an absolute delight of a night, and I have had so much fun, and I hope that you have too. So first up, I do want to just mention a couple, I'm not even going to say housekeeping things because these are all just wonderful things. But hey, FYI, we are not going to be here this Sunday. We are taking a break on Sunday, but next week we have some really great games for you. We have Karaoke doing a Hanagumi Taisen columns. I'm going to say that I pronounced that right. Y'all can correct me in chat. It's going to be a puzzle game with the lovely flowers of the original Sakura Wars. I can't say words that are arguably easier. Whoopsie. And then right after that, we have our lovely, phenomenal, maybe you've heard of her, Metroid Crime running Curse Crackers, which is a Metroidvania about a girl who needs to save her boyfriend from his ex. But no, it's not gender reverse Scott Pilgrim. So we have those coming up. The Sunday after that, we will be off again, but that's going to be in support of Girls Go Fast 2023, which is spotlighting women speedrunners. That event is going to be from November 17th through 19th, and it's benefiting Transgender Law Center. As always, keep an eye out on our socials and join us in cheering on both our participating members that you'll see there and many other women runners for a very, very good cause. And if you've liked what you've seen here tonight, there is one more thing that I want to remind you of, which is the fact that we have a super cool 2022 year in review video that was created by our lovely Pakal, and that is available on all of our socials now if you'd like to take a peek at our wonderful 2022. Yes, I know it is almost 2024, but listen, time not real no more, not important. 2022 was still a phenomenal year. So, well, it was a phenomenal year for Lady Arcaders and lots of cool things happened. So you should check that out. But without further ado, I do want to just say that I have had so much fun with each and every one of you tonight. My name is Jaypeg, and if you would like to hang out with me sometime, you can find me over on Twitch at Jaypeg_EXE, on Twitter at also Jaypeg. And really, the other place that you can find me, even if you don't see me by face or saying things, is I do some of the memes for the Lady Arcaders social media team. So if you're not following Lady Arcaders on Twitter or Blue Sky, you probably should also be doing that. And then you're getting some more Jaypeg content there as well, as kind of a sly self-plug combo Lady Arcaders thing going on. But for tonight, that concludes our Attract Mode showcase. We are going to be raiding into Sanjan, who is speedrunning Final Fantasy. So make sure that you hang out with us to go raid into Sanjan and bring the good vibes over there. That concludes tonight's Attract Mode, and I hope you had fun. Have a good night. Bye!